niggas pudding. I'm like, but then we problems. Then I correct through the obstacles.
Yeah, welcome to the Big Shot Show.
For them to feel they responsible for our success. Besides Kanye West, tell me who else I gotta respect. Cause I'm kind of perplexed. It's about time that I got my respect. It's the butcher, nigga. Let's go. About time that I got my respect. It's the butcher, nigga.
Yeah, see, it's just that vibe. That's that vibe, bro. Like, welcome to the Big Shot Show. I'm your host, BigShot Bryan. We here at what? This is Studio 34, right? Right, Danny? Studio 34. Studio 34. I won't get into boroughs and like blah blah blah. I'm in New York, but Studio 34 is where I'm at shooting the debut of the Big Shot Show. We gonna have a fun one. I'm here in the room with my right hand man, Danny Phantom. He rap. He's the jack of all trades. He knows how to do everything. So, you know, it's only right that the Big Shot Show starts, and you know, Danny's the guy behind it, going crazy in the spot. You would never think it, but the guy's like, you know, elite in every area, music, all that extra shit. Like when I drop my debut album, like Danny's gonna be the one engineering and shit like that. So it's just like the type of time that he's on. So whatchamacallit, let's get it started. Like this is gonna be like, anybody that knows me, you know, on Instagram, Twitter, knows me in person. You know, if this is your first time like listening to Bryan and, you know, Big Shot Bryan and all this extra stuff, we talk about sports here, you know, football, baseball, basketball. We talk everything over here on this side of town. So, you know, that's what, it's only right that the Big Shot Show takes big part in that as well. You know, again, if this is your first time listening to me, you know, I like misery. So Mets, Jets, Knicks, I guess, you know, most people would sit there and, you know, talk to me and be like, damn, you don't like shit, basically. So, you know, I like a little spice with my sports teams. You know, we follow everything in depth over here. We know everything that's going on in all the major sports. So, you know, we'll kick it. We're not, like, you know, more continuing with the, if you're listening to me for the first time or seeing me for the first time, you know, obviously my favorite sports teams represent where I'm from, you know, New York. You know, been in New York all my life, you know, and I've been rooting for those professional sports teams since, you know, I gained love for any of these sports. So it is what it is, and we'll get to it. And it's like New York right now, like, no funny shit, like, I was just telling Danny earlier, like, so far in this year's sports, like, everybody seems to get it. Like, everybody is on point right now. Like, you know, the Yankees and the Mets, you know, the Yankees they're about to play a pivotal game 5 against the Cleveland Guardians in the division. The Mets won 101 games. Very unfortunate the way their season ended. Better choice of words, like their season ended. It was very disappointing. I know all the fans were just like, why the fuck did you guys do all that of winning 101 games and you're out so early? But it doesn't take away from the fact that they had one of the best seasons in the franchise's history. One thing that I will say is, like, I'm a Met fan myself, diehard Met fan myself. I've seen a lot of bad baseball over there in that town. So, like, you know, in that side of town, terrible baseball. I done seen quality players turn to shit. I done seen our best players not have it anymore. So it's just, you could be upset, you could be, you know, angry and say like, oh, this was for naught, and whatever the case may be, you can't tell a Met fan how to cope. Like, that's the one thing that people gotta understand. Like, there's no telling a Met fan how to cope. So, you know, however way they want to let it go, you let it go. But it doesn't take away from the fact that it was a really good team. Like, overall, however way you feel, it was still a really good team. But yeah, like they had a really good season. The Yankees season is still going on in playoff baseball. You hope to see them continue to advance. I mean, unless you root against them or anything like that. But you know, and then you get into football, and you know, like I said, I'm a Jet fan. Uh, and this is the best start they done had in what, like 5, 6 years, 7 years since the Jets started off this hot. The Giants are fucking 5-1. Like Danny, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like they 5-1, and I can't tell you how they 5-1. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't tell you how they 5-1, bro. Like, cause you look at the roster is dirt shit, but they just play hard. So it's just like, all right, great. Like I'm a Jet fan, and it's like the baby Jets are here now. Like all the young guys that they done drafted and shit like that. Like now they look all right. So it's just crazy. Like the Jets are 4-2, the Giants are 4-1, and nobody can sit there really tell you how the fuck they're doing it. Like the Jets just beat the Packers yesterday, and it's just like I watched the whole game, and I'm like, bro, I don't even know how we up 27. I don't even know how we up this much, bro. Like we just running the ball, doing mad basic shit. But they survived and pulled it out. The Giants are winning, like they're doing the bare minimum, but they're 5-1 doing the bare minimum, and it's fucking crazy, bro. Like it's hilarious. And like it's been so long since like New York football was any fucking good. It's been like damn near a decade at this point that they were any fucking good. Both teams and shit. Like I can't even remember the last time they were both good at the same time. So it's just like it's OD fire. Like and then like tomorrow basketball season starts, and then you know the Knicks and Nets kick off on Wednesday. So it's like you kind of hope that you know New York, the Knicks and the Nets can continue that New York momentum. Like I can't, like honestly, bro, I don't remember the last time all these New York teams was popping like that. Like even the Rangers are doing pretty good, and the Islanders too. Like I don't really follow hockey too much, but a lot of the people that I talk to about sports and shit like that, they follow hockey. So you know, when they telling me that the New York teams is doing all right, like you know, New York is really popping. It's been so long since it's been that way. You know, and with that being said, like right now, you got one New York team kicking off for a playoff game, a do or die playoff game tonight, and it's like you know, like quick, Danny, I want like who do you think wins tonight? Who do you think wins tonight? Honestly,
Home field advantage is a big thing.
home.
I think the Yankees get it done at home.
The Yankees get it done at home. Like I feel like they better win. Like they better win. If they lose, it's gonna be crazy. But like a piece of me coming in today, like waking up today, like I've been thinking like they probably fuck around and lose. Like they probably fuck around and lose, right? Cause it's like, man, after game 3, I was just like, man, the Yankees might fuck around and dead lose it, and it's gonna be because of this. It's gonna be because of this game, and like Aaron Boone, like saying I'm not using Clay Holmes in case of an emergency, like going down 2-1 and potentially not making it back home at that point in time is not an emergency in itself. So it was just weird, you know. But they bounced back yesterday, and they get a really good win. They get a real tough win, and now they in a rain delay right now. You know, in case you're wondering why the game hasn't started yet, if you don't know why the game hasn't started yet, they started this game in a delay. I do not know if whatchamacallit, they've updated the start time to the game at this point. But yeah, like I think this is like a huge game in franchise history tonight for them. Like they got what? Jamison Tyon's pitching tonight from what I've heard, and you know, Aaron Judge is having this MVP season where like it can't end tonight. Like it really like can't end tonight. If it ends tonight, it's just bullshit. Like, you know, and especially because of what happened in the National League, bro. All the best National League teams is gone now. So it's just like if the Yankees go, like it's just the Astros left. Like can't be dead ass. Like every other team fumbled their bag besides the Astros. And you could argue that the Astros had the most annoying part of it because they had the fucking Seattle Mariners to deal with. So we'll see. Like I think that they have to win tonight. Like they have to win tonight. You know, I think their bats get it done. I think their bats get it done. You know, and then you know, let's see from there. You know, the Yankees get Houston, and it gets a little bit more. gets a little bit more crazy, but you probably can live with the outcome. Just live to see another day. And then, yeah, you know, I think that New York sports right now is in a very rare place. Very rare place. Where, you know, it's very, like, I feel like everybody's favorite teams is wilding. Like, you know, yeah, like everybody, like, you know, Giants and like the Jets, like, got everybody else. They set the tone for everybody else. Like, cause then you have the Yankee fans that are Jet fans, Yankee fans that are Giants fans, blah, blah, vice versa. Met fans, Jet fans, Mets fans, Giants fans. So like now, like you got people that are rooting for both baseball teams, but both baseball teams is fire, and then both football teams is fire. Not everybody's just there like yo, my sports days is lit. Like my everyday schedule when the Mets is playing was lit. Now my Sundays is lit, and I can't tell you when was the last time my Sundays was lit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit crazy. And it's like, now, if the Knicks and the Nets can handle their business, we about to turn the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? We about to turn up, because it's like, but we'll see. Like, I know, you know, the Nets have KD and Kyrie, so they always going to be formidable, in my opinion. Like, they always going to be formidable until they're not. Until this shit just flat out look like it don't work, you know. But I still gotta trust them. I still gotta trust their basketball skills. You might not trust them as people, but you gotta trust their basketball skills. So it's like, at the end of the day, the Nets, and if, you know, Ben Simmons can get anywhere to what he was before he was wilding, you know, they might be on to something for real. Like, and then the Knicks, like, you know, everybody was kind of like making fun of them, like their offseason moves and shit. And, you know, getting Jalen Brunson. Oh, you overpaid for Jalen Brunson. But I'm not going to lie, Jalen Brunson in these preseason games got them looking like they about to start hooping for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's looking like, I bet, like, it's about to be a movie now. Like, they looked really good in all those preseason games that they played, even the one that they lost to Indiana. But they looked really good, like, it's crazy, like in the Knicks, that they done dealt with a lot of shit, you know. But it seems like they're turning over the page. If the Knicks could really turn over the page, have a bounce back year, you know, RJ take the next step, Jalen Brunson do Jalen Brunson things, and, you know, Julius Randle make cool with the fans again. Like, New York about to be a dangerous place in the sports world. So like, you can't tell none of these teams nothing. Like, and all these people are fans of all some combination of these teams, and all of them are fire. You know what I'm saying? So that's a great piece. That's like a great place to be in. Like, if you really root for New York, like, whether if you're a fan of a specific team, whether you just want to see the state do good, like, it's fire. Like,
what are the Mets doing next season?
Pick up what the Mets was doing. Like, honestly, bro, there's questions to. Like, there's real questions that need to be answered with the New York Mets. Like, I don't doubt that they're gonna compete again, just because, you know, Cohen's just gonna spend the money, but it's gonna be little integral parts to it. Like, so far, like, what I've told my friends is that they're not gonna win 100 games next year. Like, honestly, if I was putting money on it, the whole nine, like, they don't win 100 games next year. I think that now, especially with how the playoffs unfolded for all these teams involved, where niggas just got punched in their mouth out of nowhere. Like, you got the Phillies just punching out division winners, you know, and you got a San Diego who beat an 100-win team and they won like 89 games. Like, I think next year the Mets go into it like, all right, let's just worry about getting in. Let's just worry about getting in at the best strength possible. But what they got to do is, honestly, I think it all starts with Jacob deGrom. It starts with, do you bring him back? Like, or do you guys come to that mutual agreement and come back and continue to do this? The Mets, their strength was pitching. The problem was, like, say what you want about their hitting down the stretch at the end of the season. It's going to be hard to win any baseball game when you're in a playoff atmosphere, playoff baseball game, and your starting pitching gives you nothing. Look at the last two series they played, the biggest series, the Braves and the Padres. The one thing all those games had in common, well, besides the Jacob deGrom game 2 start, was the pitching ain't hold up their end of the bargain. You know what I'm saying? They didn't do what was required in the moments of those games. So it's just like the Mets can't possibly go into next season without Jacob deGrom. You feel me? Like, you know, I know people who sit there and they're like, oh, let him walk. He costs too much anyway. But it's like, bro, like, do you really want to see like Tom Seaver 2.0 again? Like, where your franchise player, like, I mean, they traded Seaver back in the day, but that was just a move that when it happened, like, it was such a gut punch to the franchise. You're kind of like, bro, do I even want to watch this team play anymore? Like, do I even fuck with these niggas anymore? Like, you know, like, I grew up watching these motherfuckers and they just trading all the players that you're cool with. You don't want to do that. Like, I think so. I think what they, like, their offseason has to start with Jacob deGrom. If you get Jacob deGrom back in the fold, what can you do to support these players? You got players on your team that are really good already. You know, you got McNeil, who I think that the Mets should sign long term. Pete Alonso, another dude that they should sign long term. Brandon Nimmo gets a little tricky. He's a free agent. I don't know if he comes back, but he's one of those like popular players that the fans gravitate to. You know, he takes ball 4 and he's sprinting to first base. Nobody does that. So it's just like, you know, making sure that the people that your fans gravitate to, they're locked up. You know, Lindor is gonna be here till he's fossil fuel. So it's just like, you need to complement them with more players like that. Jacob deGrom is like, he's it, you know, like Edwin Diaz. That's it. Like, Edwin Diaz is a star in a Met uniform. Like, don't let him walk. You know, yeah, it gets a little tricky trying to pay relievers $20 million, $25 million. But it's like, it's kind of what you got to do. Like, you know, if you're going to look at your fan base and say, hey, like, the priority is winning a championship, you still got to do it. You know, like, you got to spend the money. That's your top way of improving your team. Your farm system's not the greatest yet. You're getting some good players in there, but you got like a handful of good players. While other teams' farm systems, they got a whole stable full of good players. We don't even need all of them if we don't want them. So, like, the Mets right now, they got to improve with their money, and they could do it. It's just a matter if they want to be a really expensive ball club, like, because that's what the forecast is saying. Like, if these guys want to like hit it out the park, it would have to be, their payroll is gonna have to be like $325 million, $350. And that's easily by far the most expensive team of all time. But I think they should just, like, you know, fuck that shit. I don't care what the number is. Let's try to win a championship. And that's it. Like, if it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. So I think that the Mets got to sit there, like, bring back all their good players. You know, deGrom got to come back. Diaz got to come back. Nimmo, if the money is right, you look into it. But if it's not, then he might walk away. But you could probably replace Brandon Nimmo if need be. And, you know, also try to get aggressive in certain situations. They were aggressive last year when they acquired Chris Bassett. That was an aggressive move. They went into their farm system that they didn't want to touch, and they still managed to bring in a quality player. They might have to make a move like that one more time, you know, just to get an extra body that could fit what they're trying to do. So I don't expect them to win 100 games, you know. Oh, okay, I got you. You want it all the way up?
Nah, just for the.
Okay, copy. Yeah. But anyways, what I was saying, what was I saying?
It's tough to make that argument though with the result that just happened. That you should do that.
Like, nah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's just the form. Like, you mean in the terms of like spending that kind of money?
Yeah.
Like you still kind of have to do it either way. Like, because again, like, the Mets format and trying to win and whatever the case may be, like, it like their way of winning, they're not gonna replace some of the players they got with minor leaguers. Their minor league system is not that good yet. Like, when you start getting that Dodger minor league, where it's like you're producing great players all the time, and you could replace these great players all the time, like, it's a lot more easier to field competitive rosters and shit like that. So it's just like, you know, until the Mets get there, they won't be able to do it. So they have to rely on all that money. You know, you have the manager that might get fired.
If the Yankees lose tonight, the manager might get fired.
Yeah, like, the Yankees lose tonight, bro. The manager's gonna get fired. He has to get fired at this point. the GM is the fan base has lost faith in their GM. If they lose tonight, the players that he acquired at the trade deadline, most of them are fucking hurt, and that's not his fault. But it's like, there was no help, So the GM and Bryan Cashman's already on hot, like he's on thin ice with that fan base anyway, because it seems like the only time he actually invests in the team is when his back is against the wall. And not only that, like if they lose tonight, that the front office is made, like the front office and the coaching staff is gone. But you got your MVP, who's a free agent. Now, what if that motherfucker leaves? What's on the Yankees? Like, what do you root for? Like, Gleyber Torres? Yeah, he's Gleyber Torres, but he's not Aaron Judge. He's not Aaron Judge, you feel me? Like, Anthony Rizzo's a nice clubhouse dude, yeah, but he's not Aaron Judge.
Especially if he goes across town.
Especially, man, do you know? I don't think it happens, but you imagine like the guy, like breaking news on SportsCenter, Aaron Judge and the Mets are finalizing a long-term deal. Like, bro, that's really that's fucking insane. Like, you really hear that, bro? Like you're gonna have Yankee fans turn Met fans. But that's just the kind of guy that Aaron Judge is, like the type of player that he is. Like, he's so gravitational. Like, imagine he goes to the Red Sox.
Just as dramatic.
Feel me? Like, I remember my cousin said on Twitter that he believes that he's gonna sign with the Red Sox, and I'm like, it'll be like, it'll be a new curse, like the curse that Aaron Judge built. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, now the Yankee, like that's how fucking sports is, bro. Like, you could you could jump into a curse or a time of prosperity like that in the snap of a finger. Like, it happened to the Red Sox with the curse of Bambino. Imagine Aaron Judge goes to the Boston Red Sox. Now it's the curse that Aaron Judge built. Like, a lot of people won't even get that pun either. Like, the house that Ruth built, the house that Jeter built, like Aaron Judge goes to Boston, that's literally going to change, and that's going to be the thing, like the curse that Aaron Judge built. And then, like, Boston starts its prosperity, him and Rafael Devers, like, that would be fucking crazy. Like, imagine, like, you being a Yankee fan, and you're telling me that you're spending that hard-earned money to go watch Garrett Cole every fifth day, but nothing else. And he's pitched two really good playoff games, but this season was very stressful to watch him, because the guy every 2 weeks would have a start where he gives up like 5 runs in an inning and punches in the mouth. So it's like, those Yankee fans that went to that game, they're tight as fuck, because it's like, damn, like, you get paid all this fucking money and you can't even guarantee me a victory. Like, that's how it is. So it's like, so when I saw that tweet, and it was like, every New York sports team has a bright future ahead of them besides the Yankees, I'm like, damn, but it makes sense. Because let's say the worst case scenario happens and Aaron Judge leaves, what is there to root for in Yankeeville? Nothing.
Not much. You
know what I'm saying? Like Jacob deGrom leaves the Mets, like Lindor's still there, Alonso's still there. They're probably gonna bring back Edwin Diaz, and Edwin Diaz was a revelation. I know he put some seats in that. Like, he put some asses into the seats. Excuse me. You got marketable players.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got marketable players. Max Scherzer's still a very marketable player. When you make this player's bobblehead and release it for promotion in Citi Field, people are gonna go get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like on the Yankees, it's just Judge and Cole, and Judge like all the way up here.
What about Stanton?
Stanton. I think, Stanton is the player for, like, the moms. Like, mothers love Giancarlo Stanton because of the way he looks. His physique. The facial structure. Like, they don't like him because he bats .230. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't like him because, he's batting .230, 30 home runs, 100 RBIs. Like, they don't like him for that. They like that, when he does hit the ball, he looks so strong doing it. Like, the way he hovers around the bases when he's running, he just looks so strong, bro. And like women, I know they probably looking at him like, oh my God, that's Giancarlo Stanton. Like, look at my baby go.
Right.
Type vibe. Like, I think those are the fans that
is he under contract?
He's gonna be there. He's gonna be there for a while. Like, he's not going anywhere. He's gonna be there for a while because it was no. I think he had his opt out like 2 years ago, but he opted in because he knew damn well nobody's going to pay him the rest of that money he had on that contract. So, but Giancarlo Stanton marketable, but marketable because he's like a gym. He looks like a gym rat. So like you got the older women.
Makes sense.
You know what I'm saying. But I think that amongst like the Yankee fans that I know, like, and that I talk to consistently, they're very like indifferent about Giancarlo Stanton. Like, he does like, when he first got here, he was getting booed. He punched back, and he's like a respectable Yankee. Not like an all-time great Yankee, but like, like whenever he does come up, I don't like boo the shit out of him and like dislike him. So it's like, but that's what I'm saying. Like the Yankees, they got some pieces, but it's, not the type of roster that's gonna sell tickets without Aaron Judge. Like Aaron Judge that's the meal ticket. Like, I don't work the couple games at Yankee Stadium. It's always fun when he comes up. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I like my bitches Rebel. That's bad. And like when he comes up to that music, it's just fire. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's really fire. Like and then his walk up, he plays the part in the Pop Smoke song. Like, I'm the king of New York, mellow, and it's fire. You know what I'm saying? Because he could dead ass say
Batman.
that. Yeah, like he could dead say that. Like
Can't let Batman go.
Yeah, he put himself in a position where he could dead ass say that. Like,
Big Gotham. Yeah,
like this is my shit. Like, I'm Aaron Judge. Like, this is my shit. Like he could do that. You know what I'm saying? Like he earned that. So imagine he leaves. What Yankee fans lean on?
All right, so if they win, they play Houston.
They play Houston, and at that point, like if the Yankees lose to Houston, you're kind of like, okay, same shit, different year. Like this is not something that has never happened before. You lost to Houston plenty of times, but you could chalk it up to that, so it won't be disappointing. It'll be disappointing because every time you're in the playoffs, you want to win a championship. Right. But if you lose to the Guardians, you look terrible. You lose to Houston, it's like, okay, they just got our number. We can't do nothing about it.
It adds fuel to the fire more than like.
Yeah, it will just make Yankee fans angry within themselves because it's like, why can't we fucking beat this team?
Yeah.
Whereas with the Guardians, you lose tonight and it's like, yo, bro, this fucking team is whack. They can't beat the fucking Guardians. Because guess what? When the Mets lost to the Padres, nigga, I was telling myself, what? We lost to the fucking Padres, bro.
It's an 86 win team, actually.
86 win team?
I believe so.
Look at that. I gave him 89. I say 89. 86, bro. 86.
If I'm not mistaken, we can look that up.
Bro, are you serious? Like, that's and the problem is, like, I say, like, when the Mets lost, they lost in very Metsian fashion. Like, it wasn't that you just lost the games. It was like 4-2. And, you had runners on in the ninth and you just couldn't get it done. No. Game 1, you got blown the fuck out with your $43 million player on the mound and you got your shit slapped. Punched in your fucking mouth. And then you go into, like, DeGrom, like, the DeGrom game wasn't even that, like, in the bag the way the score depicted because it was a close game all the way to the 7th inning. You feel me? So throughout Jacob DeGrom's entire start, we're like, bro, like, he can't make a mistake. He can't make a mistake because we not hitting. So it's just like, and then when Alonso hit the home run, I'm like, I bet, like, we really hit a play right now, bro. Like, niggas is like, the Padres, like, DeGrom gives up a run, we punch it right back for that run. Double. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that happened. But then the third game, fucking Joe Musgrove with the shiniest ear on the planet. Like, bro, ears don't look like that, but he didn't have nothing on his ears apparently. Not that I'm not a dude that thinks he cheated. I don't think, even though your ear's supposed to not really look like that. So I know he has something in his ear, but I'm not gonna sit there like if there's statistics that say like pitchers in the playoffs throw better stuff. That's an actual statistic. Like, the way that his spin rates were up, that's normal for pitchers in the playoff setting. That's literally all the facts we have. So I can't even really get mad at the fact that Musgrove was just like, for some strange reason, turned the fuck up that his RPMs was wilding. But it is what it is. What was we even getting into? Like,
If the Yankees win, they got Houston.
Yeah, like, you know, so it's just like those kind of things, like,
And if they beat Houston, then
you know, like if they beat Houston, like if the Yankees lose to the Guardians, they like, all right, you lost to the Guardians, you stink. If you lose to Houston, you're like, okay, you just can't beat this team. If you beat Houston, that's it. Like, just even if you win the World Series or not, you could pop the champagne because Aaron Judge is coming back. Like, you getting the band back together if you lose at worst in the World Series. You lose the World Series, you getting the band back together. Aaron Judge coming back. For me, like, Aaron Judge is coming back. Everybody coming back.
do you see them losing against Philly if it's or San Diego? If it's a repeat of 09?
They'll beat San Diego. No funny shit. Like, I don't like Philly. I think Philly gonna punch, bro. Like, I think, like, if it was Phillies versus Yankees, bro, like, I know all the Yankee fans are gonna be like, bro, we'll punch the shit out of Philadelphia. Go watch what Philadelphia doing right now, bro. Like, they're punching whoever's in front of them, bro. Like, they looked at fucking St. Louis, punched, bro. Like, St. Louis ain't even score game 2. They lost 2-0. And Bryce Harper hit a home run in game 2. Game 1, they demoralized St. Louis, bro, in that 9th inning, bro. Demoralized them niggas. And then what they do, like, I'm over here, like, I'm not sure if you saw when I made that prediction for Braves Phillies. I thought the Braves were gonna have it light. I thought the Braves were gonna sweep them. No bullshit. I thought the Braves were gonna sweep them.
And here comes Rhys Hoskins.
And then here comes Rhys Hoskins, gang. Here comes Rhys Hoskins. So I don't know.
Zach Wheeler.
You know. And then, if you got, and again, like, look at how Philly matches up, bro. Regardless of how you feel about them, they got 2 ace pitchers, Nola and Wheeler. Schwarber, second in the major leagues in home runs. Bryce Harper won the MVP last season. For me, like, he won the MVP last season. Like, Rhys Hoskins, he might bat 220. He hit 30 homers.
And now Bohm is booming.
Bohm can hit his ass off. JT Realmuto,
All-star.
He's an all-star caliber catcher. Like, you know what I'm saying? They got players. The Yankees, like,
and not to mention, you didn't mention Juan Segura.
Gene Segura. Like, Gene Segura, like, bro, Gene Segura is like their 6th best player. On other teams, bro, he's probably like your 4th, 5th best player. For real, playing like some kind of significant card. Like, and they got annoying guys on their team like Bryson Stott. Like, they got players that are just fucking annoying. You know what I'm saying? So it's just...
So that's...
Their bullpen is shaky, but so is the Yankees. The Yankees got a shaky bullpen, so do the Phillies. That's a great series right there. Philly versus New York. Like, Philly versus, like, San Diego versus New York, I think the Yankees can handle them.
Juan Soto in New York?
Yeah, but it's like, no funny shit. Like, San Diego legitimately has, like, 3 bats. You know what I'm saying? The reason why they got this far is because the bottom of their lineup is playing out of their mind.
Trent Grisham,
Austin Nola, Ha-Sung Kim, they're all playing out of their minds. That's why they got this far. Like, they would not have beat the Mets without them. Literally, all the damage they did to the Mets was Ha-Sung Kim, Austin Nola, Trent Grisham, and Jurickson Profar. Literally.
This guy, yeah.
Those 4 players, their worst 4 players, because the Mets had Machado in check, Soto in check, Bell in check. They all had little moments, but they weren't killing them. The niggas that were killing them was Trent Grisham, Mr. I bat 184 in the regular season, but now I'm going to hit a whole bunch of homers. So that's the difference. Like, and then, you know, I think the Yankees they have enough arms to relegate that. You know what I'm saying? They have enough firepower in the rotation and in the bullpen to relegate that. Whereas vice versa, I don't see the way that Musgrove or like Yu Darvish and shit like that can shut down the Yankees, especially in Yankee Stadium. Because it's easy to get frustrated in Yankee Stadium because you hit a ball to right field and it's a normal pop out anywhere else. It might leave this yard and now all of a sudden you're like, fuck, I'm losing a game for a fucking fly out anywhere else. It gets frustrating. So, but Philly look at the Yankees like, bro, I don't give a fuck, bro. Like, we're gonna fuck you up type shit.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so, but moral of the story, like, you know, the Yankees, if they lose tonight, shit get crazy. You win tonight, you live to see another day. And maybe your fan base will take it easier on you.
I mean, if you win tonight, do you save the core?
Nah, I think the Yankees way is very flawed, and because like they're so analytically driven that it's just it gets kind of annoying to watch. Like, bro, you spent like most of your season with Aaron Judge being your leadoff hitter. That man is not a leadoff hitter, bro. That's a fucking MVP leadoff hitter, bro. Like, you know? Like, why is he not batting third? If he was batting third every day, that guy would have like 160 RBIs. You know, the Yankees they made some good moves, like, you know, Harrison Bader. Hopefully he's there for a long period. They got to get table setters, better table setters. They don't have good table setters. Like, once they like if they were to devote some money on getting some table setters, maybe next year, you know, Benintendi come back. You know, you get DJ LeMahieu back. You know, Bader's there. If you could get one more legit table setter, then, you know, maybe, and so that way you could slide Aaron Judge to 3. You'll be valid. And they got to get faster, too, because some of these dudes in their lineup is slow as shit. Like, Judge is not the fastest dude in the world, even though he steals a couple bases here and there. Stanton he runs like a lard. Like, you know, he's not fast. He's injury prone, too, so you don't even want him busting his ass down the line. Rizzo's slow. He taking up mass space, bro. Like, you know, Trevino's slow. Nice. Like, you don't got quick dudes. You have a couple players that could steal a base, but you need to get quicker in every facet. Like, LeMahieu's not the fastest dude in the world. Like, you want to get table setters, people that could be annoying. And I think the Yankees did really well stealing bases this year, you know, but you want to have more options to work with on the base paths, you know, stealing bases, you know, putting pressure on defenses and stuff like that. So that way Aaron Judge, instead of having bat second, because statistically, if you bat second in the order, you get the most at bats. It's not about that. It's about the quality of the AB. Trust me, I'd rather have 3 at bats in a game where there's runners on base, RBI situations, than to have 5 ABs where there's nobody on base. Feel me? Like, and the most that I could do is go 5 for 5 or 5 home runs, and all I did was drive in 5. Whereas, like, I'd rather go 3 for 3 and I drove in fucking 6 and I got 2 hits. Type vibe. So it's just, that's how it is. Like, I think that's how the Yankees can improve if they lose. Obviously, if you win it all, you don't have to fix anything because you have that 1-year grace period. You can do whatever you want when you win a chip. Feel me? Like, you know, you let everybody go after you win a chip. Fuck it, we won a chip.
Right.
You know, if you bring back everybody and run it back, fuck it, we just won a chip. You know, and in baseball, guess what? If you won a championship, you should not expect to win next year's. You don't win 2 in a row. It's baseball. You don't win 2 in a row.
It's tough.
So, you know, if you win the World Series, just go about your merry way because you're not winning next year. You're not. Like, and no team right now is really dynastic enough to have like the legitimate players to do it. Like,
speaking of dynasties, is this the start or end of the Nets somewhat dynasty?
It's done. I think at the end of the day, bro, like, I think when they first got here, bro, people expected that. Like, dynasty. I thought they were going to win a championship. Like, I'm a Knicks fan, bro. I don't like those dudes at all, but I thought that they were going to win one. But, you know, the problem is with Brooklyn is just the stars that they do have, they're just so mentally volatile, son. Like, and I think that low key, bro, like, honestly speaking, like, I don't think Durant wants to be there. Durant's there because he has no choice to be. He has no choice but to be there. You know what I'm saying? Because where is he going to go? What team is going to offer him that much? Like, offer the Nets so much. You got to really gut your team to get this guy. So you got to gut your team to get this guy. You might not even win. You feel me? Like, so then what? And, you know, Kyrie Irving is a baller. Maybe this year they get right for real because, you know, he doesn't have to worry about that COVID shit anymore. He could actually play through, you know, not being vaccinated or anything like that. So he survived that. So maybe Brooklyn will do all right, you know. But do I think that they somehow rework a dynasty, like, or try to get it done? Nah. I think Ben Simmons is shot. Like, I don't think he ever gets any sort of confidence in himself offensively. Besides the basics, like dunking again, a layup. You know what I'm saying? So that's always going to be, I think the way he ended in Philly, like, really probably shot down his confidence. And I think he never really had any game in the preseason that was really stellar, like something to look forward to. You know, the shots still look broke. You know,
But the whole argument with the Nets has been that he doesn't need to shoot with this roster.
he wouldn't need to, but still, like, people don't understand, like, in basketball, bro, if one dude can't shoot, you're basically giving the defense an extra defender. Because when I tell you, like, Ben Simmons don't shoot, but he has no game offensively. He can't post. Not a strong post guy. You know, he can't score from the perimeter, and he can't score like inside unless it's a layup or a dunk. Teams know how to gravitate around that. Like, you giving the defense another defender. Now when KD goes to the rack, he sees 2 bodies. Sometimes 3. He's not going to gain the rhythm. Like, Kyrie goes to the Baja, he's getting 2 bodies, 3 bodies. Why? Because Ben Simmons has to stay in the corner. He has to stay on the perimeter so he don't clog shit up himself. But he's clogging it up because when he touches the ball out there, he's not going to shoot. So it's like, yeah, like, he's still going to do Ben Simmons things in transition because he knows how to move with the ball. But in the half court, he's still going to be a liability just like everybody, like just like he was everywhere else. You know what I'm saying? So
how does the next season unfold?
I think they win. I think they win a bunch of games. I don't know. Honestly, bro.
What's a bunch?
Like, it won't surprise me if they're hosting a playoff round. It won't surprise me if they're a top 4 seed. But honestly, bro, it won't surprise me if they're not a top 4 seed. They probably like 5th, 6th. It won't surprise me because the East is hard, bro. The Celtics just came off that championship loss. They're going to want to get back after it. And I'm pretty sure that they're going to try to play as hard as they can and make sure that Ime Udoka shit isn't a reason. For me, that isn't talked about in them post games and shit. You got Philly, and Philly got Embiid, James Harden, bro. Like,
a fit James Harden.
And they got to fit James Harden. Like, we already know how James Harden be coming, bro. You know, and if those shooting percentages go up,
and you got Tyrese Maxey.
Tyrese Maxey, who's what, your 3rd best player? He's your 3rd best player, and that kid can go for 30 at any given moment.
Just picked up Trez.
Yeah, they just picked up Trez. But Trez, you know, it'll be a while for Trez. It'll be a while for Trez. I think Trez is gonna get Dwight Howard treatment. Like, he's just gonna be there, just, you know, rebounding and shit. Like, not doing too much. Like how Dwight was. Dwight wasn't doing shit for them last year. They just picked him up just because he was Dwight Howard, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think Trez probably ends up doing the same thing. Or maybe him being in a championship situation probably, you know, help him clean up. Because, you know, all them Charlotte niggas is wild. You saw James Bouknight got arrested earlier today, reportedly.
Yeah. Found unconscious.
He was found unconscious?
He was found unconscious.
And they still arrested him?
Type shit.
What's going on in Charlotte, my nigga? They are wild.
Something in the water.
It's something in the water. It's the baby, bro.
It's the baby.
It's the baby.
Baby's out there wreaking havoc.
Like, the baby's just, you know, saying all the wrong things in them kids' ears. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, back to the Nets, though, like, it's like...
I mean, the Charlotte's another team they're going to have to worry about.
What we got to worry about, Charlotte?
The East?
Nah, you don't got to worry about Charlotte. Like, bro, they care more about rapping than playing ball, bro. Like, Terry Rozier, rapper. Miles Bridges was rapping. You know what's crazy? Miles Bridges was actually pretty good.
Yeah, he got some flaws.
And he got some shit in that discography, bro. I'm like, you know, a lot of people feel like he the best rapper in the NBA. It's not Damian Lillard.
Right.
They be a little too. He be trying to be too woke.
Yeah,
Fuck that, bro. Just rap, nigga. Man, just rap.
I think Dame just chose
he commercial.
The commercial route.
Yeah, he chose the commercial, and I don't fault him for it. He getting paid a lot of money to do that. You know what I'm saying? But Miles Bridges, that real gutter trench rap, bro. Niggas like that, like, you know, they be wilding, like. And then Terry Rozier rapper too. They got a song together, Miles Bridges and Terry Rozier. Terry Rozier is doo-doo.
As a rapper?
Yeah, as a rapper, he's doo-doo. Great ball player. But he's doo-doo as a rapper, bro. I think the song's name is ESPN.
Really?
Yeah, or like Sports Center, some shit like that. Because they like, and they're sampling Sports Center, and they rapping. and it's garbage though. Like, it's not deep. Yeah, but Charlotte over there ain't nobody in the East worried about Charlotte.
So who are other teams?
You know, we got to worry about Milwaukee, you worry about Philly, you worry about Miami, you worry about Boston. You got to worry about Cleveland now, because Cleveland got Donovan Mitchell along with that young ass core that they got.
Do you worry about Toronto?
Yes, you worry about Toronto, because Toronto, no funny shit, they're gonna make a play for somebody, bro.
Oh, really?
They're gonna make a play for somebody. Like they have a talented group right now, but you know what they're missing? They're missing Kawhi Leonard again. That's what they're missing, bro. Like, no lie. Like, they still have Fred VanVleet, he's really good. Gary Trent Jr., really good. That's Siakam, good. Scotty Barnes, good. They have a whole bunch of good players. You know what I'm saying? Like,
OG
Anunoby's coming from injury. But OG Anunoby probably be the trade piece to go out to get the said player that you need. He'll play DeMar DeRozan in this scenario. So, like, you know, if what they're missing is Kawhi Leonard, KD. All the guys have been traded, signed somewhere else.
Do the Nets fuck up and, like, because of a bad start, trade KD to Toronto and get some pieces back?
Can't, bro. Like, I feel like, bro, at this point, if the Nets trade him, bro.
It'll be fire if I called that today, right?
It'll be fire, bro.
Down the line.
But, you know, we have it here, like, marked. You know,
wax.
Yeah, it just is. It's on ice. Just in case it's on ice. You know, but, like, Brooklyn is really going to try to run it back. Like, I feel like KD's only going to get into the trade market if they just end this season terribly. Like, first round exit again. And they got swept again. They really punched in their mouth.
If they're 500 after All-Star break, do they break it up?
They got to start thinking about it. You got to start thinking about it. Like, if the Knicks have a better record than you got to start thinking about it, bro.
So what is the Knicks season unfold like?
Like, it's all going to be like the New York Knicks, their season is all going to depend on RJ Barrett. No bullshit. Like, if RJ Barrett takes the next step in his development, and we're talking about this as a kid that's going to average 23 plus points per game on solid efficiency, the Knicks are going to be a really good basketball team. I don't know how good, but they're going to be a really solid basketball team. Because Jalen Brunson's a really solid point guard. And he knows how to man it. The Knicks' offense is night and day now compared to previous seasons.
Really?
Night and day.
Because they have an engine.
Because they have a dude that understands what to do in these situations. You coming off the screen and roll, if you sag off me, I could shoot it. If you play me too far close, I can get to the basket. You take me out the equation, I'm going to find the open man. He just knows what to do.
And they didn't have that.
And they didn't have that with Elfrid Payton. They didn't have that last year with Kemba Walker. Like, Kemba, like, the way that Kemba was playing for the Knicks, like, Kemba's never been known to be like this facilitator. It's, I'm a scorer, and everything around me is going to open up because now the defense is going to try to stop me. Unfortunately for Kemba, his knees don't allow him to consistently play that way. And then now you have RJ Barrett, who is just stuck in the corner all day because, like, he doesn't have the ball, stuff like that. Now Julius Randle has to sit and take a whole bunch of threes all the time because, like, he doesn't have the ball, stuff like that. Like, now Jalen Brunson knows what he's doing with the basketball. RJ Barrett knows what he's doing with the basketball. When Julius Randle doesn't have the basketball all the time, when he does have the ball, he knows what to do with it. So the ball can now free move. You have a couple of hubs where you could give the ball.
Is anybody going right in Madison Square Garden this year?
Huh?
Is anybody going right in Madison Square Garden?
Is anybody going right? And what do you mean by that?
Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, RJ Barrett. Everybody's left.
Oh, I got it now. RJ knows how to use his right hand. I'm pretty sure Jalen Brunson knows how to use his right hand. The dude that don't know how to use his right hand is Julius Randle. Everybody, like, Stephen A. Smith makes fun of RJ Barrett all the time. Like, he doesn't go right. It's like, bro, RJ Barrett be going right at least once a game. Like, he'll have a righty finish. Like, yeah, he be trying to get to his left hand, but he'll have the occasional righty finish. And he be having them through contact too. So it's like, they be wilding, but you see Mr. Julius Randle, though, he's going left, bro. No matter what.
I mean, I don't remember Jalen Brunson really going right in Dallas.
You know what it is with Jalen Brunson too? He's so like twitchy, happy, like twitch quick. Like, you can't, like, he's probably just gonna get to his left hand regardless, like, because he's always just like head faking and twitching around. Like,
Yeah.
You can never just stay still.
He's not fast.
He's not fast, but he's always consistently
Yeah.
moving and hitting you with hesitations and, you know, getting under you. And it's
Plays
like,
at his own pace.
yeah. So it's like, if he wants to get to that left hand, he gonna get to that left hand. Like RJ gonna get to the left hand if he's stronger than you. If he's stronger than you, he's getting to his left hand.
So playoffs for New York Knicks.
No funny shit, bro. Play-in tournament. I think they get to the play-in. I think they could be one of the best 10 teams. As a matter of fact, like no funny shit. If even if it was regular, no play-in, like just 8 seeds, I think the Knicks would be like an 8th seed. I think the Knicks get to an 8th seed this year. I really do think so. I think they get into 8th seed. They're gonna play some defense, and I think the offense is really gonna benefit because of Jalen Brunson. They're gonna move around a lot. They're gonna do their thing, and I think that, you know, if RJ Barrett takes that next step, forget about it. Like
RJ Barrett over under 24 game. This year.
I'm gonna take the under because I got him like at 22, 23. I think he scores like 22, 23 a game right now. Like, that's how I feel like. Last year, he averaged 20. This year, he probably averaged like 22, 23. 24. Like, now you're, like, knocking on the door to, like, elite level scoring. You know, 22, 23, still a little humble. He's still a little humble at 22, 23. 24, 25, like, you know, he was
So what's the ceiling and the floor for the Knicks this year?
I think worst case scenario for the Knicks, they're in the top 10.
Worst case?
Worst case scenario, they're drafting in the top 10 again.
Oh.
But I don't think, like, I don't think they're going to be bad enough to the point where they're talking about top 1. Like Victor Wembanyama. I don't think they're talking about him.
Wembanyama?
Yeah, I don't know how to say his name. Like his name is just crazy. But, you know, I don't think they're going to be bad enough to get to the Victor sweepstakes or the Scoot Henderson sweepstakes. But I think they'll be, like, bad enough to be, like, top 10 worst teams. But best case scenario.
Which is what Knicks fans are used to.
Huh? Yeah, facts. Best case scenario, they are not in the play-in. They actually have just a top 6 seed. Like, they don't have to worry about no play-in. I think best case scenario, they're the 6th seed in the East, and the worst case scenario, they're the top 10 worst team in the league. And I think, you know, but I like them. I like them at that 7-8 range. I think 7-8. I think Jalen Brunson is really gonna make a difference for that team. I feel like really gonna make a difference. And I think the key difference is gonna be more. I know the production is gonna be the production, and the people are gonna look at the stats. But the fact is that, like, Jalen Brunson understands Tom Thibodeau. He speaks Tom Thibodeau.
Really?
He knows how. Like, he grew up with Tom Thibodeau all his life.
He did?
Yeah, because Rick Brunson, like, they used to be, like, on the same coaching staff together, like his pops and Tom Thibodeau. So, like, when Jalen Brunson was young and Rick Brunson used to, you know, be in the league and, like, all this extra shit, like, he was always around Tom Thibodeau. So, you know, now he's like Tom like Tibbs is his coach, and he knows how to speak Tibbs. Like, he knows how to speak his language. He knows how to relay Tibbs' message to the team. And I think, you know, because, you know, Tibbs be getting on your ass a little bit. Like, he's a hard coach to play for because, you know, he's so aggressive.
Now they got Tibbs on the floor.
You know,
on the court.
Now they got Tibbs on the floor. But the one that can actually get to all of them and make them understand, like, coach needs it this way. So I think that the Knicks actually are going to surprise some people. For sure. I think that they can look for the playoffs play-in vibes from New York. I think they get back into it.
Any All-Stars from New York teams this year?
I'm going to say no. No All-Stars from the Knicks this year. The Knicks probably won't have an All-Star, and I think the likeliest candidate to make the All-Star team, Knicks fans will probably, like, fucking kill me or something like that, but I think it's going to be actually Jalen Brunson. I think Brunson's the dude that flirts with the All-Star appearance the most. I think RJ, the thing is with RJ is just, I think it's already been established that RJ is just not the sexy name amongst people. You get, like, people rather talk about, like, Tyler Hero and, you know,
in that draft class.
They'd rather talk about other players, like, you know, over talking about RJ Barrett, you know. And RJ Barrett doesn't do anything flashy, sexy. So while other players, you know, they got the Jaws and Zions and, like, the Darius Garlands who could shoot from mad far, like, shit like that. Like, RJ just simply plays his game and goes home. Like, he plays a very boring style of basketball. Like, you know, it's not flashy, doesn't jump out the gym, doesn't cross you over. He just scores 20 points a game. So, and I think that Jalen Brunson's the kid that's going to get the notoriety. Like, if the Knicks are doing good, they're going to put it on Jalen Brunson.
They're going to Chris Paul him?
They're going to be like, yeah. They're going to be like, yeah. Like, Jalen Brunson is the reason why they're good. So, Jalen Brunson's going to get that love. And if he's putting up big stats, people are going to push him.
Over under 18?
I like him at 18. I like him at 18. Like, 18. Like,
double-double?
No, double-double.
18-7?
Listen, if he puts up 18 and 7, he's going to the All-Star game.
Word.
18 and 7, he's going to the All-Star game. Automatically.
With some wins.
With some wins, yeah. But if he's averaging 18 and 7, the Knicks are doing a really good time. They're doing a really good job. Like, they have to be doing a really good job, bro. Because when was the last time they had a fucking point guard average 18 and 7?
It's Brandon Jennings, I don't know.
Brandon Jennings was averaging like 10 and 6.
No, I'm saying at guard that could do that.
Yeah, fact.
Or Derrick Rose, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, Derrick Rose averaged like 17.
The pandemic year, I think Derrick Rose averaged like 14 points, like 13, 14 points a game, and he averaged like 4 assists. Feel me? Like, but like the last time the Knicks had a lead guard that was legitimately averaging 18 and 7 was probably like what? Mark Jackson. I don't even think Mark Jackson was averaging 18. Maybe Stephon Marbury. I'm tweaking. Stephon Marbury had to be averaging like 18, yeah. But that nigga was a cancer.
Even Jay Lynn for a little bit.
Lynn for 2 weeks was averaging 18 and 7. Yeah. But that was about it. Like, once Miami figured him out, it was done. Like, the Knicks have been missing just the bare minimum at point guard. Like, but now they don't have the bare minimum. They have a really solid point guard.